promo code HELLO to get $1 shipping on your first order.
You know, I know the Pope controversially mentioned that he did not believe in hell. Yeah, I'm going to talk about this. Marky Billson on Tri-City Sports Now recently and such. And I got to tell you, I agree with him now. Because after Bartolo Colon with his 8.14 ERA last year with the Atlanta Braves goes to the Texas Rangers and throws 7 perfect innings against the defending world champions, then you know what? I am convinced, yes, absolutely convinced that there is no hell because it is frozen over. I mean, that's the only thing that I can take away with. My goodness. Bartolo Colon is 44. He still does not speak English. I still don't get that. But anyway, here is, 7 innings. He went to the 8th with a perfect game. Here's how it all ended last night.
It is a base hit down the line. There goes the no-hitter. Correa over the third, and in the second goes Reddick.
I did not see. I was wondering why the Rangers picked him up. I mean, the Rangers traditionally have struggled with pitching, but signing Bartolo Colon is a little ridiculous. 44 years old, weighing close to 300 pounds, if not at that. They list him at 285. Rangers went on to beat the Astros 3-1 in extra innings, and Colon, for his 7 perfect innings, got a no decision. Such as that. Anyway, here's what Bartolo Colon said about the event. It's through an interpreter, but here we go.
But I was thinking, as you know, at the beginning that I just went to get on the count, but I went down on Correa, so the most important thing is that we won.
Jeff Bannister, who has a pretty good reputation as a manager, this is what he had to say about the effort from Colon. I mean, you just can't overlook it.
What an incredible effort. Perfect through 7. Moved fastball around, changed speeds, but in control of the game.
I want to say hello to not only Vincenzo Muriel, who's watching on Facebook, but also the great Alex Schmarzo, who was a former Baltimore Orioles farmhand, and in one of the minor league teams that I broadcast, the old Alexandria Aces, had a 93-mile-an-hour fastball, which actually beats Bartolo Colon by about, I'd say, 6-7 miles an hour at least. So Alex Schmarzo, late of St. Mary's, the Gales, and all this, joining us here. And I want to say hello to him because he was one of the favorite players that I actually did broadcast. Hey, we know you want to know what's going on in Bristol, and Brad Keselowski with a Ford is now leading the race. 255 laps in. He's trailed by Kyle Busch in a Toyota. Austin Dillon is third in a Chevy. Jimmy Johnson, although he hasn't led any laps in this race, has he led any laps this year? He's hanging tough. He's 5th. So that's so actually he just fell down, did he not? Wait a minute. So he got Jimmy Johnson. Where did he fall down? He fell down to 10th. 255 laps into the race. And off 5th now is Ryan Newman. Here we go. 255. They're past the halfway point. It's Keselowski, then, who is, by the way, won both the first and second stages of the race after, of course, yesterday, Ryan Blaney wrecked out. And then it's Kyle Busch, Austin Dillon, Paul Menard. Yeah, who's he? Ryan Newman, Daniel Suarez, playing Speedy Gonzalez by Pat Boone coming out to the track. Joey Logano, who I believe started the day as the race winner. Well, it's changing as we speak. In fact, Jimmy Johnson has moved up to number 2. So we can look at this. Also joining us here, we had Jackie Sherrill join us on there, is a man who once ran a 4.240 and played college football in Tennessee. I'd like to say hello to Dwight Wishbone Stone. Yeah, I remember what Myron Cope used to nickname you and all this. One of the very few wide receivers ever to wear number 20, Pittsburgh Steelers, Carolina Panthers. A lot of people around here will remember from there. And at one time, had the record for the longest reception in the history of the Pittsburgh Steelers at 90 yards. He was tied with, of all people, Mark Malone. Yeah, the former quarterback caught a 90-yard touchdown pass from Terry Bradshaw once upon a time. It's now Juju Smith-Schuster caught a 97-yard touchdown pass from Ben Roethlisberger last year, has the team record for longest catch. But Dwight Stone joining us here now. How are the Reds doing, Dwight? Yeah, 2-12. Not as good as you would have thought here. Huh? By the way, speaking of college football in the area, I should mention, the spring practice. We'll get to this tomorrow because I've only got a minute left. But a story that maybe you ought to be concerned about, but maybe you shouldn't, because you know what I say about recruiting. You don't know until 4 years after the line. But yeah, Tennessee over the weekend, they lost a recruit. Been a verbal commit under Butch Jones, but Jeremy Pruitt, no, evidently doesn't want to play for him. So he's going to go to Michigan. Instead, the player's name out of Hollywood, Florida, 4-star defensive back, Corey Couch. I will say this, and I don't mean to sound like sour grapes at all, but I think it's a legitimate comment to say that he was a little thin. Still, losing a guy to Michigan that you had a verbal commit doesn't seem to be good, but you just got to wait and see. I'm not totally sold on Jeremy Pruitt. I still wonder, and I know a lot of stuff came out over the weekend about the, Jeremy Pruitt really could have had Mike Leach and all that. Yeah, I think I'd rather have Mike Leach and Pruitt than Fulmer and and Curry and Leach. You know what I'm trying to say. Tri-City Sport now.
1420 NBC Sports Radio Tri-Cities on Facebook, Instagram,